Today I'll be scoring Ethan Coburn's trailer for his upcoming film, Ice Cream Sundays. We're gonna be making the score for this trailer in this space called Technica House from our friends at Audio Technica. They invited us to do this video today, so I'm excited to dive in, dude.
Yeah, let's do it.
My name is Juan Dusan. I am a composer for film and media. We already worked on the film together. I scored his film. We used pianos, processed instruments, clarinets, and all sorts of weird things to create this feeling of nostalgia. And now we're trying to incorporate some of those elements and themes into the trailer music.
Yeah, I think it'll be super interesting to get into. I think even the themes of the film and when we were scoring the film of kind of like taking something that's familiar and presenting it in a way that's, unique and striking will come into play because, now we already have the score for the film and now we need to put it in a new light and show it in a new way that's interesting and provoke people to watch the full film. The film is basically about a girl, Sophie, who comes home from college to help her older brother, deal with their mom's overdose. And basically, they have to sell their house. They have to get things in order. And it's just this sort of drama that plays out between these two siblings, just trying to have a moment with each other, but unable to because of the sort of constraints of their life. And I think a lot of it sort of comes from this idea that the writer and I had, kind of banking off what had happened during COVID, where a lot of people were kind of brought into a new world. Like everything that you were familiar with, everything you were used to kind of got thrown for a loop.
So we are in the podcast studio here at Technica House, and I've brought up the trailer for Ice Cream Sundays made by Ethan. I already went through and created some markers that are guiding me through the edit of the trailer, marking some spots and important cuts. So for example, here in the beginning, we start the trailer with some ice cream shots. I put a marker on every cut, and that kind of gives me a good idea of the tempo of the music. Then we have a title, and we have the first part of the trailer, which I marked as section A. Then we have a cut to black with this title. And section B starts. This is where we start hearing the drama of the story. Finally, we have another cut to black right here when we have a big revelation. And we move into the third part of the trailer, which is the third act where everything should be changing towards a more energetic and a build-up like texture. As you can see, there's like these cuts. I went ahead and figured out the tempo to match those cuts. Finally, an outro with some additional credits.
So the trailer, I think, is put together in a way that's pretty similar to like a story, Mm-hmm. I think you had mentioned earlier too, like there's almost a three act structure to the trailer. And I think, to me, when I was thinking about what music would be going along with it, I was thinking about that and about where does the beat change? When do we go from something that is going to present the film in one way to something that's going to present it in a different way? I think that differentiation is what's going to sort of draw people into the film and kind of question what it's about. There's a lot of sounds to play with. I think we got to stick somewhat to the scoring of the film because we were really on to some stuff.
I'll show you a few of the themes that we crafted. This is the beginning of the score. And I want to use this in the trailer, but probably in the very end, in the title cards. that shimmery kind of synthy thing in the top.
So yeah, I think like creating something like that where, you know, one portion is very warm, very grounded, very familiar, and then the next portion kind of goes from there into a new space.
Nice. There's a point in the trailer that things kind of like take a turn, and then you see where things have to change musically.
Yeah.
We should expect some kind of build up, I feel, like to the end of the trailer or something like that.
Yeah.
Besides like a clear shift in tone, also a build up.
Definitely. I think like in terms of like when I went through to edit the you know, this little teaser, it's like you're saying, I did like a segment that is, what is it about? What's the problem? And then a segment that is, here's what the film has.
Yeah.
Here's what you can enjoy when you watch it. You know, here's what to expect.
Cool.
And it's that sort of build.
Yeah.
So like there's the structure and then there's the chaos. It comes off in the initial portion of the trailer, comes off very sort of like a happy coming of age, understanding what it is to like grow up. And in reality, I think, you know, the film is more so about losing your childhood innocence, losing what it is to, you know, kind of grow up and step into the real world. So
Yeah.
I actually think that's something we should play into.
Cool. So yeah, like the first part, the expected of it can be like, oh, it's like a coming of age story, and that has a particular sound that people usually think about when they think of coming of age stories. So we can use something like that with the instrumental palette that we used in the score, and then halfway through we can bring in the drama and like that kind of like electronic punchiness and rhythm to it, so that we can ground it into the reality of the world that we created.
I think that contrast, that idea of like starting out in a completely different light, that is like, you know, coming of age, very warm, very melodic, especially with like, you know, it starts out ice cream shots and then going into like, you know, the two of them talking at the ice cream store.
Let's start by going into the vinyl wall and picking up some vinyls from there that you think might be cool to listen to before I go into this, to get my head in the right space.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Ready?
Cool. Let's do it.
Yeah, so I think like the sort of guitar in this is what will build the like ambiance of their house and like still have that sort of happier mood, like that quicker mood, but not too chaotic, not too crazy for like that initial, you know, up to that first beat that we've been talking about.
Right. And the first element I want to focus on is the guitar, which I have pulled up here. And I also pulled up an electric piano. That together sounds like this. So I found this sound called Drifting Away, which is kind of like this it's like a very textural piano-like sound. I like that it has elements of a piano, but it's not entirely that. hit that title.
Ah, the bitch awakes.
Do you think we're gonna have to say something?
Yeah. Yeah, today we remember my mom, the nagging, addicted lunatic.
And that's like a more emotional part. That's where we start introducing the drama. And definitely this chord progression kind of like, these chords definitely give us that feeling that something is kind of off. Maybe we need some extra stuff there, maybe some strings to add to that emotional aspect. So let's try to write something in.
Ah, the bitch awakes.
Do you think we're gonna have to say something?
Yeah.
Much stronger with
Today
this.
we remember my mom, the nag.
Every time there's like one of those cut to black, I'm gonna add a few percussive accents, like a low boom, to kind of accentuate this.
Addicted lunatic.
Yeah.
Let's try to add some of those in the beginning as well. There you go. So those are pretty common accents that trailers typically use to increase that excitement. Now let's work on the third part of the trailer, which has to really build up in terms of percussion. And this is the idea that I have.
Lunatic.
Starts with this,
Yeah.
and then we get the bass.
It's not easy for me either, watching my best friend suffer like this.
And these chords kind of like help us build this up.
You're the one who decided to pick up and make a better life for yourself. You left.
And watch as this expands a lot. Right here.
He's okay.
It's coming up.
Absolutely not.
Like what?
Yeah.
Here in the end, I want to add that wind sound that we used in the actual film to tie it all together. So this part, I think it sounds pretty solid, but now it needs some of that punchiness in the percussion, and I want it to have trailery percussion, but not like the super epic hybrid one, more like very thick drum set, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's not easy for me either, watching my best friend suffer like this.
And then as we progress, it kind of like gets more intense with more instruments.
Like what?
See how it syncs to the picture. All right, now let's watch that with the stuff that we previously made. That's the harmony and the synthesizers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, now here in the end, I'm going to add that.
Yeah. Yeah, how could I forget ice cream sundaes?
Let's talk a little bit about this wonderful space. It's called Technica House, and it's a Soho, New York-based space made by Audio Technica. It's wonderful that they have a few studios in here, a podcast studio, a conference room, and the most incredible listening space that I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was crazy even just walking in, coming through like records all over the wall, whatever the diffusion was at the front desk.
It's crazy, and the fact that like we can just come here and work on a creative project for the whole day. Well, it's like such a cool space to be using.
Definitely needed as well, especially for like, there's so many freelance people out there. I mean, like myself included, whenever I edit things or am working on projects with Ice Cream Sundays, I was able to utilize like some of my facilities from college. But when I didn't have access to that and I was just working off my computer, it can't handle like a lot of the production that needed. Whereas like once we came in here, this room is just completely silent and like perfect acoustics. They've got all the setup, like the equipment set up, everything you need, and to be able to just come in, work this project out and wrap it all up in like one day is crazy.
And now there are a few things that I like to add to my trailer music, effects and risers and things like that that help really sell this track. Those transitions like that one, percussive transitions like this one.
Addicted lunatic.
Yeah.
In the end, I added a bunch of hits to like accentuate the cuts like these. I added a bunch of additional guitars.
It's not easy for me either.
And this slowly opens up.
Like this.
I also added a lead synth up here that has like a cool melody that brings a lot of emotion to the track.
It's not easy for me either, watching my best friend suffer like this.
I think we're a pretty good spot to show Ethan the results of this, so I'm gonna go ahead and call him back into the room. It's done.
Yeah?
I think so. I mean, I hope you like it, man. I don't know. It was fun though. It was fun.
Oh my God, Soph, I love this place. Remember when my mom took us here every Sunday? God, where's the old Sophie Carmichael?
You know, I saw Ryan the other day, and like chicks before dicks, but he has definitely gotten hotter.
Dude, my brother is such a joke.
The wakes.
Do you think we're gonna have to say something?
Yeah. Today, we remember my mom, the nagging, addicted lunatic.
It's not easy for me either, watching my best friend suffer like this.
You're the one who decided to pick up and make a better life for yourself. You let.
I can't do this.
I have to do whatever I can to take care of us, to make sure he's okay.
Absolutely not.
Like what?
Yeah, how could I forget ice cream sundaes?
That's sick.
Thanks, man.
That's awesome.
What do you think?
Dude, that's so good. Dude, the clarinet, all the like, yeah. Yep, I love that.